Hello, Top 10 Gaming family. I'm Durena. Some of you guys may know me from Most Amazing Top 10, and I'm popping in here to guest host some content for you guys. I'm super excited to jump in and bring you guys some great gaming content. Now, Five Nights at Freddy's came into the gaming world and took the public by storm. At its core, it's pretty much a task management game that's done really well, just trying to make sure you're on top of everything so the world doesn't come crashing in around you. But what Five Nights at Freddy's does incredibly well is it creates an extremely frightening world of living animatronics, and it has a pretty deep lore as well. Also, I feel like this was the perfect avenue to head down. Animatronics are so creepy. How did it take us this long to get a horror game that has them as the main villains? As the world of FNAF has grown, so have some of the characters, with many of them becoming even more terrifying as the series have progressed. And that is why I'm bringing you today's list. Today we are counting down the top 10 scary FNAF animatronic alternate versions. As always, I would love it if you guys could like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. Also, stick around for the whole video, because at the end of this video, I'm going to be giving you my top 3 picks for horror games you can play in quarantine right now. And without taking any longer, let's get into this list. Number 10, be kicking off this list with Oh Freddy. Did Halloween come early, or am I just having a fever dream that's going to leave me with PTSD for the rest of my life? The original version of Freddy is already unsettling, but I could still see him set up in a Chuck E. Cheese or something of that nature. He's not so frightening that kids couldn't find any sort of enjoyment in him. But when it comes to Oh Freddy, he looks like something that would be posted in a haunted house with like a mattress in front of it, because every time it spooks someone, they pass out and they need something to fall on. Basically, it looks like the developers took the Nightmare skin Freddy and then they made it do the fusion dance with Ghost Rider. It looks like the skin on him is rotting from the outside, and then you can see into his animatronic frame. He's got those little Freddy babies growing out of him, which you can only assume he uses them for a weaponized drone to torment anyone around him, and on top of all this, he's got flaming eyes. If Freddy was the last boss in a Dark Souls game, this would be his final form, and he would probably be able to kill you with one hit with some massive AoE attack that does an insane amount of unblockable fire damage. At number 9, we have Old Bonnie. Something that makes the Five Nights at Freddy's characters seem they could be at least a little bit cute is their fluffy exterior. Like, I wouldn't want one in my home, but I could see how some kid would find it cute and they get a plushie to sleep with. But with the Old Bonnie animatronic, that just strips away anything that might be cute and only leaves a dark gaze of a metal face that would make even the Terminator uncomfortable. You'd be like, geez, dude, like, put your face back on. You're freaking out all the other robots. I mean, like, I understand you're supposed to kill people, but this is a bit much. That is what really sets this one over the edge. It's not the old dirty fur, it's not the missing arm with live wires that are flowing out of the socket, it's the dark metallic face. It makes me think of that episode of Simpsons where the Itchy and Scratchy robots, when they were at Itchy and Scratchy Line and they try to kill everyone. At number 8, we have Nightmare Chica. Everyone who plays Five Nights at Freddy's eventually makes a mental list of which character is most scary to which character is least scary. For me, the worst to look at is Chica. If you break it down piece by piece, it just gets worse and worse as you go along. Just at first glance, you have a massive bird monster with a decaying outer shell. Yeah, that's gonna live in my psyche for a long time. Then you get to the teeth that are pointed like needles, and there are so many of them. There are more teeth in Chica's head than a Great White Family Reunion. And even the cupcake that Chica's offering has been overhauled. It looks like it was supposed to be at a dinner party for the Nightmare Before Christmas characters. Why did you have to do that to the cupcake too? And on top of all that, there's still the terrifying bib that says, "Let's eat." I hate this thing so much. It doesn't matter what version of Chica it is, it always makes me uncomfortable because I know Chica isn't getting ready for me to enjoy a meal. No, it's the other way around, and I'm probably. At number 7, we have Phantom Foxy. Even before Foxy gets a DLC pack to overhaul its look, it's one of the creepiest members of the whole group. Like, it probably harmed every child that got close to it even before it was an evil monster. I mean, it has a hook for a hand, and it probably sharpens that thing nightly. Just being a one-armed pirate fox with missing limbs is enough to make it onto this list, but then you add the phantom look and you're even more terrifying. What really freaks me out about it is that solo eye that stares back out of its dark exterior. Everything else about it is pitch black. There's just this one eyeball that is looking back at you the whole time. No thank you, me no like you, don't like this one. At number 6, we have Nightmare Balloon Boy. Balloon Boy really creeps me out. Whenever you take something like an animatronic which is already pretty creepy, and then you make a child version, it gets even creepier. I mean, really think about it. It's anything horror. If it's a kid version, it's always scarier. You got ghost, child ghost, that's even worse. Clown, child clown, that's even worse. And Balloon Boy is no different. I think the part that makes me most uncomfortable is the floating head that has two massive rows of teeth. And you know that propeller hat just acts like a hydraulic press, just lifting that head up and pressing it down so it can crush all your bones into a fine paste. And out of all the nightmare versions of the Five Nights at Freddy's animatronics, this one is the cleanest looking. Like he's fresh out of the box, so you know somewhere in the world there's an evil factory that is still cranking these things out. At number 5, we have Security Puppet. I guess it was someone's bright idea to invite Jigsaw from the Saw franchise into Five Nights at Freddy's. That's exactly what this dude looks like. Bring up a side-by-side image of these two right now. They look like they have the same mom but different dads. That's why their noses look different. The red cheeks are way too close to a clown. And if you guys know me from the other top 10 lists I have done, then you will know that I'm not a big fan of clowns. They creep me out big time. Also, I really don't like the juxtaposition between the blue streaks under the eyes that look like tears and the smiling face. It looks like someone trapped it inside that body and then super glued the mask onto its face. And finally, the lanky, scary, spider-like physique that really makes it a big old nope for me, and I'll just leave it there. At number 4, we have Freddy Frostbear, although I will admit that this guy has some amazing Christmas chic. That little festive bow and that piece of mistletoe in the hat are a great choice. I love Christmas and anything to do with Christmas. But what bothers me is that massive icicle that he carries around, which for sure he uses to stab you in the neck when you aren't looking, and the fact that he's covered in ice, or gives off that icy sort of blue color, because you know as he slowly gets closer and closer to you, you're gonna start to feel the chill that he gives off. Then your hair's gonna stand on edge, you're gonna get goosebumps, and right when you can see your own breath, you'll feel his icy grip. At number 3, we have Scrap Baby. Okay, we are bringing together so many horrible things here. First, you have Scrap Baby was originally Circus Baby, which is a clown, which I've already stated are terrifying. Then you have an animatronic that looks like a kid, and we've established that child versions of anything are always spookier than the original version, and Scrap Baby reassembled itself, and Scrap Baby was Circus Baby, as I said, and reassembled itself to make Scrap Baby. So this thing can come back again and again and again, like Jason comes back in every Friday the 13th movie. This is a 7-layer dip of horror tropes, and it's freaking me out. Not to mention as a giant pincer claw hand that it could use to pinch off your limbs with minimal effort, and it has roller skates. This thing is built for speed. At number 2, we have Molten Freddy. This reminds me of what the monster looks like at the end of a monster movie, when you've tried to kill it 20 times and its full form is revealed and now it just crawls around like some sort of goblin. The massive wires that make up Molten Freddy's body makes me feel like it would attack you like some sort of squid creature, just wrapping up around you and strangling you to death. But I do like how it still wears the hat. You gotta respect the drip, even when you're an evil robot monster. And for the number 1 spot, we have Ennard. I mean, it does make sense that Ennard would be able to work his way all the way to the number 1 spot. First off, he's a clown, and I've stated again and again, clowns are creepy. On top of that, he is the combo of some of the scariest parts of other Five Nights at Freddy's characters, and you can see his whole animatronic interior like a series of wires and parts that have a mind of their own that have all come together to kill you, which is exactly what he wants to do. Ennard is trying to murder you in the game so he can escape to live in the real world amongst everyone else. I'm assuming if he was successful in that, he would continue his killing ways and maybe never be caught. Alright everyone, that has been our list, and as promised, I'm going to do a short run through of what I think are some of the best horror games you can pick up right now while you are in quarantine. First, we have Dead by Daylight. If you are into multiplayer games like Evolve, Friday the 13th, or the upcoming Predator Hunting Grounds, games where one person gets to be the big bad villain and everyone else has to work together against them, then this is a great pick for you. This is the same kind of game. It's super spooky. It has horror villains from classic horror movies like Halloween and Nightmare on Elm Street. Great pickup. Second is Resident Evil 2 Remake. Now this game is still a little bit pricey, but it has gone on sale before, and since Resident Evil 3 Remake just came out, I won't be surprised if it goes on sale soon. Also, this game is a masterpiece. It creates a world of tension that keeps the player on edge. There are a ton of collectibles and unlockables for all you completionists out there, and you can play the story as 2 different characters who have 2 completely different storylines, which equals out to a ton of content. And lastly, I'm going going to call out System Shock 2. You can grab this game on the Steam store for $10 and it will run on almost any PC because the game is pretty old. But if you want to see a piece of gaming history and you want to see what was the spiritual predecessor to one of the greatest games of all time, BioShock, then this is a game you gotta check out. Alright everyone, that has been our list for today. As always, I would love it if you could like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. And when you guys hit up the comment section, let me know what you thought of my hosting. This is my first time hosting over here at Top 10 Gaming, and let me know what gaming topics you would like to see on future lists. Until next time, I have been your host, Durena. Stay safe out there, and watch out for animatronics trying to sneak up on you.